Bitcoin recovery from the drop that it had a few days ago. Ethereum also back above the 2500. It looks like it's going to go for the 2600. We have some tensions between Trump and Powell regarding the economy of the United States. The war is still happening in the Middle East, but volatility on Bitcoin and Ethereum is dropping very, very fast. So let's talk about it in today's video. So let's start with the price, which is something that we're used to right now. As I said, Bitcoin 106, Ethereum 2555, XRP 217, BNB 648, Solana 147. So it seems like we are recovering from the huge blow that we had a few days back. Now, looking at the fear and greed, we are neutral. We're right in the middle, 48, 50. That is the place that we are right now. So this means uncertainty is leading the market right now. Retailers don't know which way to go. They don't know if they want a long, they don't know if they want a short. And we can confirm that by looking at liquidations. This one right here. So 130 million liquidated, which is very little. And scrolling down a little bit, only 57% of these positions were short. So pretty much even. Longs and shorts are getting liquidated by the same amount. Pretty much, it is almost even. And you can see there's a lot of red, a lot of green here from the heat map. This means that both sides are kind of going up and down. There's uncertainty. And if we look at the charts right now, on the 4-hour charts, we can see that Bitcoin has tried to touch again the 200 moving average, which, as we said before, acts as a very strong support and also a very strong resistance. So I don't know if it's going to have the strength to break above that. But switching to the 1 hour, we can see that we went above. We had a funnel on Bitcoin right here. And when the bottleneck gets very, very tight, usually we have an explosion towards one side. In this case, it was on the upside. So we are reaching oversold on the 1 hour chart, but not in the 4 hours. Actually, overbought, excuse me. So here, most likely, if Bitcoin shows more strength, more volume, we can see that breaking above the 200 moving average. Now for Ethereum, on the 4 hours, we're still seeing that funnel, it's getting tighter and tighter here on the Bollinger Bands. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that we had this bottleneck and a little bit of an explosion, but I don't know if we're going to keep going because on the 1 hour chart, we have the 200 moving average above, the 100 moving average right below, and the 9 moving average and the VWAP right at the bottom. So it's kind of squeezing it in. We need to see volume and we need to see confirmation towards one side. Maybe I'm a little bit bullish on this one. And on Solana, unfortunately, Solana is very, very stagnated right now on the 4 hours, on the 1 hour. Looking at the volatility for Ethereum is dropping. So what does it mean? When IV drops, when volatility drops, it means that if you want to sell an option or a vertical spread, whatever you want to sell, if you're trying to generate passive income that way, you need to find closer strikes that are a little bit closer to the money. And that is more risk for the same rewards that you had when it was 75, 76, 78% in the volatility. So what does it mean for me? It means no trading today. The strikes that I saw are very, very close. Even though volatility is low, it means there's not much movement. I still don't want to sell a low IV and then IV having to go back up and me risking to lose on that position, on that trade, especially because I am with 17 consecutive wins and I want to keep the streak. If it means not trading for 1 day, waiting for IV to go back up or strikes to get a little better, then of course that would be it. Now, speaking of copy trading, speaking at trading itself, if we look right here at the copy trading on the topics, unfortunately we had a loss, but we're still green in the month. As I said, we haven't had a single month closing in the red. Of course, we've had days where we lost, but these days usually are so rare that the monthly P&L, the monthly ROI is always in the green. We've been running the zero DTE strategies now for a little over 1 year and not a single month has closed in the red. But unfortunately, we lost 0.75% on this last trade, but we're still 2.65 in the green for the whole month of June. Hopefully, we're able to get back at above 3, maybe above 4%. That would be fantastic for everyone in the copy trading. We're going to close with an article. I don't want to get more into the war, so there is no point for me to talk about the war over and over and over again on every video. That is just going to be redundant at this point. But we have some tension between Trump and Powell, as Trump is publicly, and he has been for quite some time now, criticizing the Federal Reserve, especially Jerome Powell. So we don't know what's going to happen. We just know that these guys don't like each other, and that could affect the economy, especially if Trump is able to remove Powell or make some sort of scheme like they did for the tariffs to, put pressure on everyone, especially on Jerome himself. What Trump really wants is rates to be cut because that would boost the economy. It would make sure that volatile assets like stocks, like crypto, they would pick up some steam, they would pick some volatility, and that is good for the market as a whole. But that may not be the best thing for the economy. So again, I'm no economist here. I'm just talking about my own speculation and my own thoughts. But honestly, I don't know what would be the best way, the best approach for this. Cut rates nonetheless, to just hold the same rates, avoid inflation. I don't know. What do you think? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on the rates and on the politics between Trump and the Fed. What do you think about that? With that being said, this is going to wrap up today's video. Very slow and short video. Not many news to go on today, especially if I don't want to be repeating myself regarding the war, regarding Trump, regarding economy. But hopefully a quiet weekend will be in front of us. And then on Monday, we should see liquidity and volatility starting to pick up again. And we could resume our option selling that way. Hopefully you have a fantastic weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday for another video. Take care. Peace.